Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for watching Pandemic Isolation. And before I even get started, I just noticed this like literally a minute ago. I already have my wallpaper picked out and everything. Just at a last moment's glance, Wet Market just flew right into my mind, and that was definitely not intended for this wallpaper. I thought it was very colorful looking. It looked very futuristic looking, which obviously I'm a big fan of futuristic wallpapers or futuristic anything really, movies and the like. So I just wanted to point that out. That wasn't done intentional. I just thought it looked like a cool like marketplace. I think that's produce anyway. Same with over here, probably fresh produce. I don't see like bats hanging up or anything like that, so it probably is like that. I will say though, I did notice the face mask though. I did notice that, but that didn't prompt me to download this wallpaper. Actually, I've had this wallpaper for months now. Like I'm pretty sure before even the virus even broke out. But anyway, I just thought it was a cool image. Just the purple, just kind of peering out through the glass of the upstairs windows, and just overall a very cool picture. The very tall skyscrapers in the background. When it comes to these pictures, I love looking at the background just to see how detailed it actually gets, and how futuristic it actually looks. So I just wanted to clear that up real quick before I start this video. But I hope everybody's doing okay. Hopefully everybody's safe. I heard numbers are starting to go down, which is good. So hopefully that's the case, and hopefully it will continue to do so. With me personally, I had to do a lot of re-engineering of my work slash personal life over the last couple of days, because I was, let's see, when was this? It was on Tuesday. Okay, so on Tuesday I got the news that they're slashing our hours by 8 hours per week. So we're going to be working 32 hours a week. We get to keep our benefits, but we can only work 32 hours a week. If we have PTO in our bank, we can use 8 hours per week just to take care of that. Uh-oh, my cat just opened the door. Just one sec. All right, I'm back. So that was the first disruption, and um, so they told us that it's going to start the next day. So half of you are on this list, the other half are on that list. So the list that they're pretending that they were speaking about was the list of this day you're off, and for the other half of you, you're off on. Well, anyway, I was on the list for Wednesday, so the next day I was supposed to be off of work, unpaid, unless you had PTO that you wanted to put toward it. The other half of that list was scheduled to be off on Friday. So by the end of the workday, our director of our department came out and said that, hey, it looks like our company kind of moved some things around, and they gave us this giant project, so it looks like we can still work 40 hours. We have to iron out the details, but we think that this could happen immediately, but we'll keep you posted. So those who were not supposed to work on Wednesday, you can come in. You can come in Wednesday. Just come in. And so I did that. So Wednesday rolls through, and turns out the project has to be put on hold because they have to work out a lot of details. They have to figure out who they want to put on the project. It's going to take some time. There's 42 of us employees in this department, so they're trying to work everything around and get everything figured out. So they are effectively putting that project on hold, and they said yesterday, which was Wednesday, because right now it's the 16th, Thursday. They said, so all of you who were supposed to have today off, Wednesday, just take tomorrow off. So I had the day off today. That was at the very beginning of the day. That was at like 8:30 in the morning when I got all that news. Okay, so then a half hour later, I'm just doing my job like normal, and then I got a surprise from my supervisor, who said that hey, we're going to teach you how to do such and such job. We're going to give you kind of a crash course, and we're going to train you on this. Now, I have experience with similar methods of what I used to do for my job before I was sent to another part of the department. But anyway, point being is that they gave me a 2-hour training course in something that usually takes 4 weeks for somebody to learn, and I had to learn all of it in 2 hours. So yeah, it was a crazy day yesterday. Very stressful, I would say. Definitely stressful because I had to pack in a lot of information in just a couple hours. I took notes to the best of my ability, but And to put the cherry on the sundae, they said that at 3 o'clock this afternoon, okay, you can start clearing off your desk. You could pack up your monitors, you could pack up your computer tower, and you're heading home. You're going to start working from home effective immediately. I know you have the day off on Thursday. We will pay you for the time that it takes for you to set up your workstation when you get home today. But, if you want to, you know, put together a couple of odds and ends on Thursday, that's on you. That's, because you're off for the day, or you don't have to. But, I spent almost the entire day today, my day off, just setting up my workstation. So my table that I intended to use for a podcast is now filled up with 4 monitors and 2 keyboards and 2 computer towers, and a really nice office chair that they gave me. I wish they let me keep my crappy one, because my crappy one didn't hurt my back, and I have chronic back problems. My 4th lumbar disc had herniated about 5 years ago, and it's been giving me big problems ever since. I can't drive in my car for more than 20 minutes without being in tons of pain. And believe me, I've tried everything. I've got all these orthopedic pillows. I've got rolled up towels. I've adjusted my seats in a million different ways. Yeah, nothing works. And I'm not getting rid of my car. I absolutely love my car, so I just have to deal with it. But anyway, so a lot of stuff happened this week. So it kind of it changed my life very quickly, and a lot of it is to do with the virus spreading, and they want to get people out of the workplace, because we're supposed to be going to work from home even if we didn't have this virus. But they're trying to fast track it for 2 reasons. For one reason, they don't want it to spread inside the workplace. If everybody's working at home, everybody's isolated. And the second reason is because we are seeing a huge drop in our in our requests for information from other companies, because all these companies are furloughing workers. So we are seeing a 30% decrease in our workload. So that's why we had 8 hours a week cut off from every single employee. And they're doing that because, and I agree with it, I would rather take the hour cut and have to sacrifice X amount of money that I'm not going to get now, in order to keep a full staff. Because what if I'm that first person on the chopping block? Now, I wouldn't be, because they would go by seniority. So there's probably 15 people that are behind me. Because I've been working there for a couple of years, and every month or two they'd hire a couple of new people, or maybe about one person every month or two. But still, very busy, very crazy. I spent the entire day trying to rearrange my room, getting it nice and clean. I even had to do wall detail. Like I had to try to make sure that my collage of pictures were appropriate, because I have this giant collage of 1990s alternative music pictures, and I just wanted to make sure everything looked appropriate. If I didn't slip in anything that was inappropriate on my wall, which everything checks out, because they're giving us webcams so we can communicate on Teams. So whenever we have whenever we have our weekly meetup, everybody is supposed to be equipped with a webcam and a microphone, and just in case if you want to chime in, they can actually see you and not just hear you. So I just had to make sure that my room looked presentable on camera for my fellow coworkers. Oh man, and I had to hang up like just pieces of paper on the side of my wall that pertains to what I need to know while I'm doing my job throughout the day. So it's just been a really busy day. A lot of cleaning up, a lot of rearranging. My table that I bought, it would maybe, I think it's rated to or it's been built to seat 6 people, because it's technically a dinner table or a dining table, but it would sit 6 people kind of tightly. I think truly it should be a 4-person table, but technically it's a 6-person table. I paid like $100 for it on I think it was on Walmart.com. So but now it is completely overcrowded. It's got, again, 4 monitors, 2 keyboards, 2 mouses, whatever you want to call them. And then my PC speakers, and little odds and ends. I've got that lawyer lamp, that old school retro looking lamp that has the hand blown glass on the top that's green, like the glass lampshade, and with the brass. The rest of the lamp is made of brass. I have one of those. I actually bought it for $1 at not a yard sale, at the local flea market. So I got super lucky because it's legit. I mean, it's definitely vintage, so it's pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, it's been a very busy week, to say the very least. Definitely not enough time to put videos together. Technically, I don't have enough time to do this right now because I actually have to work out my software before I start work tomorrow morning. So I still have to do that after this, but I don't want too much time to go past because I don't want to make it feel as though that I'm letting this channel, not channel go, but letting this repetition go. So I felt I had to do something. So I'm not going to spend too much time doing this because I do have to get back to work with setting up my workstation, virtually speaking. I have to make sure my VPN works. I have to make sure my virtual desktop is functioning okay and all that stuff. So there still is some work to do before I go to bed as far as work is concerned, even though I'm not getting paid for it, but that's totally fine. I'm totally okay with that. So anyway, with that being said, I'll go ahead and start jumping into these articles. It's definitely not like the last video where everything was good news. It turns out I just got really lucky. I happened to find enough articles to make that a good news video. And I don't think that's a daily thing. I tried doing that yesterday. I really tried to make a video yesterday and I tried to find at least 4 or 5 good articles, and I looked for maybe 2 hours and couldn't find more than 3. So I just let that whole concept go. I was hoping to maybe do like a pandemic isolation, level 2, where it's only good news from here on in. But nope, I don't think that's quite possible just yet. But just wait. When the entire country and the entire world starts to have a downward tick in cases, I think that's when all the good news will start flooding in. So. But anyway, with that being said, I'll go ahead and start jumping into this right now. Let's start with the map. They have redesigned the map, and I did show this in the last video that it has been redone. I spent a little more time on this, so I'll actually I'll show you my local area, and by showing you the steps I take to get there, you can do that for your local area if you live inside the United States. If you don't, I'm going to start off with the world map, and you can navigate accordingly from a world point of view. Outside the United States perspective. So just let it take a moment to load. Here we go. I think my VPN's on, right? No, it's not on. Well, it's about to be on. All right. I don't think that showed my legit IP address. I think it was showing what it was connecting to, hopefully. But anyway, 2.1 million people confirmed with COVID. 143,000 deaths. That's insane. That is so many people. I just can't believe it. But compared with things like the Black Death, I mean, that was like what, 20% of the entire human population died from that. It's crazy. But still, that's insane numbers. Like that's like war numbers, or even worse in some cases. But all right. Anyway, so with this one, I'll go to the U.S. map. It'll bring up more details, U.S. specific, obviously. Top 20 counties by number of deaths. So this is number of deaths. Over here is infections, confirmed infections by county, and they do the top 50 on this side. And this is a county by county breakdown. So that's why it looks kind of weird. But the vast majority of the United States looks like they have very few cases. So, but there are some hot spots, and I'm sure most of them are urban hot spots. But anyway, I will go ahead and I'm going to select my state here. So you can select your state, and after you select your state, you can actually select your county next to it. My state's in Florida, and then you can select your county if you'd like, which I didn't do this with the other one, but see, look at this. It's not organized alphabetically. It's organized by infections, it looks like. So Pinellas County, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. So we're 8th. It's not good. I mean, we have, I know I should know this. I really should. We have like roughly somewhere between, I think it's 50 to 55 counties in Florida. I'm pretty sure. I think it's somewhere around there. Maybe I'm way off. No, I'm not way off. It's pretty close to it's like 53 or 55, something like that. I should know that number. I know. And I used to know it, but I don't know it anymore. But anyway. So here we are. Oh, way too close. So this is my county here. So I'll click on it. It highlights here. We have 513 confirmed cases, 14 deaths. Still pretty low because we have 980,000 people that live here. So if you do the math, it still translates to roughly 1 in 3,000 people that actually has this thing. I think it might even be more than that, but whatever. I'll do it for you. Why not? I guess it's more for myself because I'm the one that lives here, but divided by 513, 1 out of every 2,000. So I was off. 1 in 2,000 or 1,910. Okay. But even the 980,000 number is an estimate. But it's 980 like 290 or 182,461, something like that, whatever. But anyway, roughly 1 out of 2,000 people have it. So that's still pretty low, even though they have us in the red, which I think is kind of silly. I mean, in a county with 1 million people, only 500 are infected, and you're putting us in the red zone? Seriously? I mean, it makes it look like that we've got like 10,000 or 50,000 infected. But look at this. It actually shows a graph of the county, which I think is awesome. It doesn't look awesome, obviously, but it's nice to see that trajectory. So when it starts to come down, that'll be good. But obviously a giant uptick. This is probably around the time where they were doing like the rapid disbursement of tests, and they probably tested a crap ton of people on this day. And then the next day it just shot up because of how many were tested. That's my opinion, but I don't know if that's really true. I just figured it might have been. Anyway, and then you can click on the status report here. I clicked on this, by the way. And it takes you to this thing here where it actually shows you a blown up version of that thumbnail. And it gives you a pie chart, race and ethnicity. 79.8% are Caucasian or white, black, African American, whatever you want to call them. 10.9% out of 100%. 3.6% is Asian. Other races will be 2.5%, 2.8%. And yeah, so now it's just by the numbers. It's not by percentages. It's not by death percentages or anything like that. I mean, I have heard that like with speaking about ethnicity specifically, it apparently targets other types of ethnicities differently in terms of I don't know if it's necessarily infections, but I think it's with the black community, it's really affecting them pretty bad with terms of death reports, which is really unfortunate. But they said that the government's on top of it. Not sure if I quite believe them. I mean, hopefully they are. They really should be, but that's for a whole nother conversation. They talked about like diabetes numbers. They talked about hypertension, and there were some other things that I've heard just, out there in the news ether. I'm not even sure if that's really true or not, but that's what I've heard, that there's just some secondary health issue, underlying situations that affects the black community worse in certain ways. I don't know, but hopefully they'll be able to figure that out. I don't know if they'll be able to fix it, but hopefully they will. I guess the only way they can is just by getting rid of this stupid virus. Maybe we should go to war against China. Won't fix the virus, but, at least hold them accountable for what they've done to all of us. Them and the WHO, which, by the way, if you didn't hear, I believe it was yesterday, President Trump is suspending the funding of the World Health Organization because they told us, we found out publicly that China had discovered that COVID-19 was transmittable from human to human. And then 4 days later or 6 days later, the World Health Organization came out and said that there was no evidence to indicate that there is human to human transmission with COVID-19. And then that's just one of many reasons, but that was the first one that comes to mind. So yeah, so he's suspending funding to the World Health Organization, which is about $500 million a year. We're by far the number one contributor. But if the WHO was up front, which they probably heard that stuff from China, but maybe they didn't, who knows, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, there's some other, some kind of underlying stuff, confirmed cases, total deaths, fatality rate, population of 65 and older. It's pretty high. Total population, so I was close, 975. I rounded it to 980. 11.7 in poverty. Not sure how that's relevant necessarily. ICU beds 285, 3874 licensed beds, and staff beds 3307. And then there's some chart information here. The reason I'm showing you this, I mean, this you might not care about this because this is Pinellas County, Florida. So either you've never been here before, or you don't even care about this place because you don't live here. But I'm showing you this because there's over 5,000 counties in the United States. And if you live in the United States, Your county is here, okay? So let's say that you live in, I don't know, let me just click here. All right, let's say that you live in Custer, South Dakota. There's 0 confirmed cases and 0 deaths, but even still, you can click on this, even if there's no cases in that county. You can still gather this information. The population of race and ethnicity. There you go. Health facts and infrastructure, and it's got all the same stuff there. So I don't know. All the information is relevant there. But anyway, I'll click out of that and let me go to the next article here. I don't want to take too much time because I have to get my work going, man. I gotta figure out if my workstation is gonna be functional. I mean, well, I just have to figure if there's any kinks or any bugs or anything, I gotta figure it out before I start work at 7:30 in the morning. All right, so this is on Fox 13 Tampa Bay, so it's local. I just thought it was interesting. Well, at least at the time. Let me see here. So this is one of them that I looked at. 3 days later, Hillsborough EPG votes to rescind county's curfew. So they're going to rescind it. They used to have an order or whatever you call it. Oh crap! It's not a law. It's just like it's like an ordinance, I suppose. That might be the right word for it. They had like a temporary ordinance that had a curfew. I think it was midnight because I thought we had one here in Pinellas too. I'm pretty sure that's the case at least. So they're walking that back, which I think is a good thing. You don't want to infringe on our rights, which really says a lot about Hillsborough County because it's a pretty heavily liberal county or left-leaning county. Let's see, what was the other one? I'm going to pull up on the next tab here, but let's see. Oh, here it is. Pinellas leaders won't reopen the beaches and condo pools for exercise for now. So just because Hillsborough is rescinding the curfew, Hillsborough, they're not opening their beaches either. Yes, Hillsborough does have a few beaches, but anyway, like Pinellas is not going to open their beaches yet either because this was 6 hours ago, so I don't know like when the information that Trump communicated to the press, I don't know when that was first released. That might be, talking about that maybe in terms of reopening the country, reopening the economy. Maybe that's why they worded it that way. I'm not sure, but they're going to keep it closed for now. But anyway, that's pretty much it. There's not much here. Unemployment checks are in the mail for 4% of 800,000 jobless Floridians, DeSantis says. That's nice. But 4%? Are you kidding me? Only 4%? That is a very slow start, in my opinion. I heard that a lot of people got their stimulus checks in the mail. Not in the mail, but direct deposited. I didn't get mine yet because I did my taxes last year, and I asked them to mail it to me because I don't technically have direct deposit. My company gave me like this like debit card that's technically a checking account, but I don't have checks or anything with it. It's just something they deposited into, and I just used that card just to take the money out of and pay my bills with. So with my tax check, it was mailed to me, but I'm not sure how long that's going to take. But frankly, I'm not going to spend it. I'm just going to save it as long as I possibly can because, I don't know. 32 hours a week for me is going to be really rough. No, I can't give you the exact number, but it's not 1,000. It's not even close to 1,000. It's way less that I'm missing out on. But that's the point. Like I don't make much money to start with. Like definitely don't. It's like in the 30s per year. So yeah. But this stimulus check, I hope that I think that I could get around this because I did stockpile a lot. Not stockpile. I don't like to use that word because it's been so stigmatized lately. But I have put aside food before this whole thing got out of hand. As far as like cleaning out the aisles of toilet paper is concerned, which I didn't stock up on toilet paper. We have like 2 bags in the closet, or like two. Let me see, there's 9 in each one, so we have 18 rolls of toilet paper right now, and I think like 1 in the bathroom. So I mean, I didn't stockpile that because I thought that was stupid. Okay, if we run out of toilet paper, let's use tissues. Oh, we're out of those? Okay, well, we have a detachable shower head. Just stand in the bathtub and clean yourself. I mean, come on. But anyway, yeah, so anyway, I don't know why I keep ragging on. It's getting dark outside, folks. It's 8:11. It's past sunset. It's still a little bit of light out there, but anyway, here we go. Trump gives governors 3-phase plan to reopen the economy. President Donald Trump gave governors a roadmap Thursday for recovering from the economic pain of the coronavirus pandemic, laying out a phased and deliberate approach to restoring normal activity in places that have strong testing and are seeing a decrease in COVID-19 cases. We're starting our life again, Trump said during his daily press briefing. We are starting rejuvenation of our economy again. He added, this is a gradual process. The new guidelines are aimed at easing restrictions in areas with low transmission of the coronavirus while holding the line in harder hit locations. They make clear that the return to normalcy will be a far longer process than Trump initially envisioned, with federal officials warning that some social distancing measures may need to remain in place through the end of the year to prevent a new outbreak. And they largely reinforce the plans already under development by governors who have the primary responsibility for public health in their states. You're going to call your own shots, Trump told the governors, according to an audio recording obtained by the Associated Press. We're going to be standing alongside of you. Places with declining infections and strong testing would begin a 3-phase gradual reopening of businesses and schools, each phase lasting at least 14 days to ensure that infections don't accelerate again. In phase 1, for instance, the plan recommends strict social distancing for all people in public. Gatherings larger than 10 people are to be avoided and non-essential travel is discouraged. In phase 2, people are encouraged to maximize social distancing where possible and limit gatherings to no more than 50 people unless precautionary measures are taken. Travel could resume. Phase 3 envisions a return to normalcy for most Americans with a focus on identification and isolation of any new infections. Still, Dr. Deborah Birx, and the White House Coronavirus Task Force Coordinator, and Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infection diseases expert, said it would be a, quote, new normal. But Trump pushed back, suggesting that people wanted to return to watch football games and fill restaurants. That's going to happen, and it's going to be relatively quickly, he predicted. Governors of both parties make clear that they will move at their own pace. Delaware Governor John Carney, a Democrat, said the guidelines seem to make sense. We're days, maybe weeks away from the starting line, and then you can have 14 days of declining cases, of declining symptoms, and hospital capacity that exists in case you have a rebound, he said. West Virginia Governor Jim Justice, a Trump ally, cautiously floated the idea of reopening parts of the state, but said testing capacity and contact tracing would need to be considerably ramped up before restrictions could be safely lifted. All would be forgotten very quickly if we moved into a stage quicker than we should, and then we got into a situation where we had people dying like flies, Justice told reporters. Let's see here. How much more have I got? Oh, I'll at least get past this image here. So at the earliest, the guidelines suggest some parts of the country could see a resumption in normal commerce and social gatherings after a month of evaluating whether easing up on restrictions had led to a resurgence in virus cases. In other parts of the country, or if virus cases pick up, it could be substantially longer. See here, how much more do I go? Oh my gosh, this long article. Holy cow, folks. Trump said parts of the country that are lesser hit would be able to proceed to phase 1 of his guidelines literally tomorrow, but he said he doesn't want New York or other hard-hit areas to come back too soon. In briefing the governors on the plan, Trump said they were going to be responsible for deciding when it is safe to lift restrictions in their states. Just days before, he had drawn swift pushback for claiming he had the absolute authority to determine how and when states reopen. Quote, we have a very large number of states that want to get going, and they're in very good shape, Trump said. That's good with us, frankly. And I actually agree. I mean, why are you going to lock down the entire country when there's counties like the one I clicked on previously by random that had 0 cases? I mean, why are they shut down? They don't have any problems there. I don't know. Just a personal opinion. Okay, so moving on here. The guidelines also include general recommendations to businesses as they plan for potential reopening, suggesting that temperature taking, rapid COVID-19 testing, a widespread increased disinfection of efforts in workplaces. These most Those most susceptible to the respiratory disease are advised to remain sheltered in place until their area enters the final phase, and even then are encouraged to take precautions to avoid close contact with other people. Oh, let's see here. Let me see how much more. I think the reason I'm reading so much is because my highlighter function didn't come up this time. Let's see here. I'm just checking to see if there's anything else. Okay. Just read along. All right. So anyway, I mean, I don't think that they released the full speech. They probably did before the Q&A. But there was a lot of info that he was discussing during the Q&A segment, but this was just posted very recently, obviously. Let's see, or 7 hours ago, updated 28 minutes ago. Well, I mean, I closed it, but I mean, he was literally taking Q&A when I opened this up and started looking at it. Not when I was recording it, but when I first saw it, which was like an hour ago. So anyway, I don't know what the 7 hour. I mean, maybe the press got the information before he went to the podium in the White House and actually covered it. Maybe that's the deal there. I'm sure that's it. But anyway, let me go to the next one because I'm running out of time. I mean, I don't know how much time I've been doing this for. 31 minutes. Not too bad. I mean, there's been videos I've gone 2 hours, but frankly, I just don't have that kind of time right now. Let's see here. I'm just going to go over the gist of this one, which is basically the title. Cuomo extends the New York pause until May 15th, and the details he details the face covering rule. So anyway, like blah blah blah. Like right now, there's hold on. I think it was like 0.9. Let me just scroll down to that point because that is important. So right now we are at 0.9 infections. So that means that for every one person who's infected by coronavirus, they are affecting 0.9 other people. Okay. So if it was one person to one person, so if it was 1.0, that means one sick person on average is infecting one sick person on average. Now, if it is if this number here would be 2.0, that means that you are one person sick and you're infecting two people. So this is good because it's less than one full person. That's why they're going to start talking about reopening things. That's what this article is mainly about. But anyway, that's basically the gist of the article. But he did sign an order to wear masks. He noted that the mask order will include public transportation systems, private transportation carriers, and for-hire vehicles. And he said the order goes into effect Friday at 8 p.m. Let's see if I can give you the last part here. I'm not. All right, here, I'll just read this in between part here. Any operator of a public system, an operator of a private carrier, and for-hire vehicles must wear a mask at all times. He said, if you get on a bus, you need to wear a mask. If you get in a train, you need to wear a mask. If you get into a private car service, Uber or Lyft, the operator needs to wear a mask, and you need to wear a mask on a private carrier. So I'm not seeing like fine numbers, and I've already read this. They didn't say like what the penalty is, but the order does go into effect Friday at 8 p.m. I think it's just kind of strange that they didn't give you like what the penalties would be if you refuse. I mean, like, will you be arrested? Will you be fined? And I mean, what are you going to do? You're like, if somebody gets on a bus, you're going to find them and then kick them off the bus. Well, then why did you find them in the first place? Just kick them off the bus. Oh, you're going to give them a fine and they get to ride the bus anyway. I don't see that happening. Sounds like that is probably like you go to jail if you don't listen to us kind of situation, but it wasn't outlined here as far as I saw. So anyway, all right, let's go to, I think it might be the last one here. This one is long-winded. That's why I was trying to skip through those as quickly as I could. Not skip through them, but try to outline them as quickly as I could. Now I got rid of my stupid my stupid ad block that kept making me open Bing every time that I Google search something. Bing always showed up results. I got rid of it finally. So I'm getting all these weird, like, these weird advertisements. but that's okay as long as I can see the article. So this one I purposefully did not highlight because I plan on reading most of it. Or wait, no, I thought I did highlight it. I thought I did highlight this one. Yeah, I did. I actually did highlight this. Oh, what the hell, man? Hold on. One sec, folks. I swear I highlighted this one. It's not going to highlight, is it? Dude, I'm going to be mad. Oh, you got to be kidding me. All right, hold on. Let me just close out of Chrome altogether. Let's give it 2 seconds. 0, 1, 2. Let's see if it is going to bear fruit, please. I'm just waiting for this to pop up here. And I'll scroll down because after the entire page uploads, or after it all, downloads to my browser, then the highlighter feature comes up last, but it's not showing up. Gosh dang it. All right, whatever. Anyway, let's see here. So the title of this is Coronavirus Protests in U.S. over lockdowns increase pressure to reopen the economy. But there is way more than that in this article. Protests is just one part of many because this article actually covers many countries around the world as to what they're dealing with today. So I thought that this was a very good article. And if you want to find it, it's on globalnews.ca. So it's a Canadian article. No problem there. I mean, I'm sure it's legit. It was written by Christopher Rugaber and Laurie Hennent at the Associated Press. So they write for the AP. So I think they're legit enough. So anyway, let's see here. The ranks of America's unemployed swelled toward Great Depression era levels Thursday, and President Donald Trump reacted to the pressure on the economy by outlining a phased approach to reopening parts of the country where the coronavirus is being brought under control. Under the plan presented by Trump in a call with the nation's governors, he'll ease the social distancing guidelines to allow states to start getting back to business over the next several weeks in places that have strong testing and have seen a decrease in COVID cases. Quote, you're going to call your own shots. Okay, we already heard that in the last one. All right, yada, yada. The move came on the same day the government reported 5.2 million more Americans applied for unemployment benefits last week, bringing the 4-week total to 22 million people on unemployment. Easily the worst stretch of U.S. job losses on record. The losses translate to about 1 in 7 American workers. That is crazy. That will absolutely ruin our economy in a very bad way. And historically speaking, if we have a ruined economy and we have 1 out of 7 out of work, what usually happens after that gets us out of that nightmare? Well, if you're going back to the 1930s, war does. World War II. That got us out of that nightmare. And after we won, the 1950s and 1960s are arguably the best times to be alive in American history because everybody had money. Everybody had a house. Everybody had a nice car. Like, not literally everybody, but a lot of people were doing very well back then. And I'm not talking like rich. I'm talking middle class. Middle class flourished big time in the 50s and 60s. Not saying that I'm asking for that because I don't want war, because look at what we're going up against. I don't want any of that to happen. That'll be a freaking nightmare. All right, anyway. So let's see here. And that's just an opinion. All right, so worldwide, the outbreak has infected more than 2.1 million people and killed more than 140,000, according to a tally by Johns Hopkins University, the map that I use. Though the true numbers are believed to be much higher. The death toll in the U.S. reached about 31,000 with 650,000 confirmed infections. The spread of the virus is declining in places such as Italy, Spain, and France, but is rising or continuing at a high level in Britain, Russia, and Turkey, authorities said. Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, his grand victory, Russia's grand victory day, not his, but Russia's grand victory day parade on May 9th in Red Square, marking the 75th anniversary of Nazi Germany's defeat in World War II. He postponed that event. Since Soviet times, Victory Day has been the nation's most important holiday, reflecting its wartime losses, putting at more than 27 million dead. I think on Wikipedia the number's higher. I thought it was between 31 and 35 million people in Russia alone, and most of them were just innocent bystanders, civilians. Let's see here. In New York, most lethal hotspot in the U.S. There's more bad signs with a drop in reported more encouraging signs with a drop in the daily number of deaths statewide and the overall count of people in the hospital. So the governor says we've controlled the beast. We've brought the rate of the spread down, which is a great thing. Let's see, he's lining up let's see here. The governor extended the state's lockdown through at least May 15th, and New York City is lining up 11,000 empty hotel rooms to quarantine people living in crowded apartment buildings. That's smart. All right, so let's see here. I think I skipped all of this. West Virginia, no. I kind of want to get into other places around the world in case there's people listening to this that may not be in the U.S. I kind of want to cover something that could possibly be in your area. Because there are other, let's see here. No. Oh, come on. I think they changed this article since I last brought it up. 2 in 3 Americans expressed concerns that restrictions meant to slow the spread of the virus would be eased too quickly. No, come on. Dude, I highlighted so much information. I guess it didn't. And I bookmarked it. It's been bookmarked. So let me just yeah, that's it. All right. Well, that sucks. I mean, I had tons. I mean, it went over Japan. It went over South Africa. It went over parts of Europe. It talked about Switzerland. And obviously I'm not going to remember all that. And I mean, what I think I remember, I don't want to give you that information because it's just based on memory, which is not, precise. That really sucks, man. Come on, Global News. That is bullcrap. See, look, they updated it at 7:50 conveniently. Like right at, literally 10 minutes before I started doing this thing. That's crap. They got rid of so much information in this article. That is so messed up, man. That's why my highlighter wouldn't work. Whatever, man. I apologize, folks. You could blame them for that, but they had so many countries. They even said that what is it? Oh crap. The secretary or like the number 2 guy for the United Nations said that countries around Africa need to heed the advice that they have to get their country into a lockdown situation because he believes that Africa is going to be the deadliest continent in the planet, on the planet as far as COVID-19 is concerned in the long run. I mean, I'm telling you, man, this article was so freaking good, and they took out so much. They talked about Japan. I mean, come on, man. All right, whatever. Well, I guess that's all I got, folks. I mean, I'm sorry to disappoint you like that. You can blame them. They updated the article yeah. I mean, you could do the math. It's 8:28 right now, and let's see how long I've been doing this for. 42 minutes. So literally 2 minutes. Literally 2 minutes they changed this article, so I couldn't give you the facts on that one. But yeah, they had a lot of statistics around the world. Hopefully I will stumble across another one pretty soon. Now I am moving to work from home, so I don't know how that's going to affect me with YouTube. I was able to kind of rearrange my little table as good as I could with the 3 monitors I have to use for work and the 1 monitor that I use for all of this, which is plugged into a whole separate computer because I had to take my work computer home with me, and I got 3 monitors plugged into it. But hopefully with all of this, I've rearranged it in a way that I think I can maintain this and I can still do my thing. But I've not ever worked from home before. So once I clock out, I don't know how much, off the clock, off the books kind of prep work to make sure that everything's functioning correctly. I don't know. I just think that I might have some work cut out for me outside of my normal hours in terms of trying to maintain my work from home status, because we're at a time right now where workers can be expendable if they're not very good at what they're doing. So yeah, so I might have to fly under the radar as far as that goes, and that includes setting up my virtual desktop, because I'm probably technically not supposed to when I'm off hours, but I have to make sure that I can do my job when I go on the clock, because if I can't, I'm not going to sit around and sit on the phone with IT for 4 hours while they try to figure out everything. Hopefully I can figure it all out tonight. But anyway, with that being said, it's 8:30 right now. It is now officially probably 98% completely dark outside. I can see a tiny little bit of blue and green in the sky. Very, very little. But anyway, I'll just wrap it up there. I'm sorry I couldn't give you any more information, but things are starting to look good. So hopefully the president is correct. Hopefully that that the nation is going to start hitting a downward tick in infected people on a daily basis. And if I didn't say it before, I'll say it again, that any state in the United States that wants to start opening up again, they have to they have to have a downward trend of infected COVID patients on a daily basis. With that being said, that means that if you are having 100 people being infected, I think that's way too many, right? I don't know. Like I'm just going to use 100. If you're having a 100 person infection rate right now, tomorrow it has to be 99. The next day has to be 98 or lower. The next day has to be 97 or lower. 96 or lower, so on and so on and so on for 14 days. You have to have a downward trend for 14 days. And if you can continue that for 14 days, then as the governor of that state, they can start to open up whatever they want, more or less. Like they can open up restaurants, but they have to give their own guidelines. So the president is putting like virtually all power into the states individually, which is great because that's very constitutional. That's the way it should be. The president should not, because he's only one person. He's only one man, one human. One person should not be quarterbacking all 50 states. That's why we have governors. So I think it's very nice. In my opinion, it's very admirable that he is not going to exercise that power and quarterback the entire country as far as this virus is concerned. He's going to give the vast majority of economic power into the hands of the governors because they know their states better than he does, which is great. I hope it works out that way. I think that's the best way to go. I think our government is set up fairly well as far as pandemics are concerned. I mean, constitutionally, they've trampled on a lot of rights that we have that we're entitled to, but in the case of the coronavirus, we have to social distance. We have to sacrifice some certain freedoms that we might have, especially in large urban cities, like with Governor Cuomo saying that he's signing whatever executive order that's going to force you to wear a face mask when you're in public, more or less, or using any public transportation. That's a violation of our Constitution, in my opinion. No. Anyway, whatever. I guess I'll just leave it there. Just drop anything down in the comments if you want to. I've only seen a few. Hopefully this one might get a little bit of attention. I don't expect it to, but whatever. I'm still having fun anyway, folks. Doing this is better than doing nothing. Better than just sitting there and just blindly staring into the internet ether just like a freaking drone. I'd rather at least put some of that to some good use by making a video that hopefully works out for some people. Hopefully will give you some information you didn't know before. But if you come across any articles that you think were awesome, please let me know, because I don't think I'm having very good luck. I'm looking around and I'm picking the best that I can find. But if you hear anything out there, see anything out there, definitely drop it in the comments and I'll certainly take a look at it. But I guess until the next video, which I can't tell you it's going to be tomorrow. It will be Friday night, so I might be doing something. But I haven't done the traveling and isolation in a few days, so I might lean toward that. So I think it might be a couple of more days before I release one of these videos. But until then, I hope you stay very safe out there. I hope you have the best time you can under the circumstances. Just stay clean, stay healthy. Try not to get sick, and until next time, just stay very safe out there, folks. Thank you so much for watching.